Welcome back to another video. This is a 0 to 6 figure series. This is a series in which I showcase my portfolio. We're going to talk about my portfolio at the moment, which altcoins I hold. We're going to talk about the state of the market, why some things are going down, and kind of what I'm looking at and potentially what I'm going to be looking at in the near future. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. The current portfolio today is worth around 24,000. Let's give this a refresh. $24,686. You can track this yourself in real time by clicking the link in the description below. Now we are actually down quite a fair amount from the recent peak around the 17th of January. I think we're down probably like 20%. From 28 down to 24, less than 20%. I can't do maths off the top of my head anymore. But anyway, I think in general the portfolio hasn't changed too much. You can just see a bunch of red across the right hand side. This is the last 24 hours. You can see ETH down 4%, and naturally many of these other alts down significantly more. That's to be expected, and I think it's okay because we did buy a lot of these altcoins a long time ago, and my thesis is still the same. Buy high quality altcoins at cheap prices and hold on to them. And the thing is, when you hold on to some of these altcoins, you do earn a vast majority, in a vast variety of ways, I should say, whether it's providing liquidity, staking and earning airdrops, and all kinds of other stuff. So that's kind of what we're doing. I have Uni V3 LPs with like things like Matic, Deuce. We've obviously migrated. Blur is staked at the moment to earn blast points. Say is staked as well. Link is staked. FXS, we've got the upcoming fractal chain. So lots of things going on. Even my ETH is actually staked and actually restaked. We'll talk about that another time. So I think ultimately, as long as you buy high quality altcoins, you can make them into cash producing assets, whether it's in the form of LP rewards or whether it's in the form of airdrops. I think that's the great thing about it. So hopefully we should see all of this go up in the long run. In the short term, I don't know how things are going to go. And I think we can see the Bitcoin chart over here. I've basically drawn out some lines to basically show that, when the ETF was announced and on this very, very bullish day, we've now drawn down like, 17.5%, 18%. And so one of the questions is really, as I've drawn on the diagram, are we going to kind of bounce back from here? Is this like an area of support where we've had for what feels like almost 2 months now? Or are we going to just kind of wick down into this lower area, this area around 38,000, which a lot of people on CT tend to believe. I don't know what is going to be the case. I think either way, I have dry powder. I've got 3,000 USDC and potentially even some more that I could add, and I'm happy to use this if we were to go to this mark, because I think altcoins would probably bleed a little bit more. But to be fair, even at these prices, things look pretty reasonable to me, and I think the likelihood is I probably will be buying stuff nowadays in the next few days to weeks. I think the charts don't look so bad. I definitely wouldn't be buying here, but I think when I see some of my altcoins like Butterfly, for example, going from the peak and all the way down to where we are today, like it wicked all the way down to almost minus 50%, and this is just in a matter of a few days. So yes, in hindsight, it would have been great to sell up here, but I didn't. I think in the long run, things are going to be much, much higher than where they are today. One of the questions is really like, when is a good time to buy? Like, it's definitely not a good time to buy when your asset pumps this much in such a short period of time. But if on retraces like this, if you're buying high quality altcoins with good fundamentals, I think in the long run, you should be pretty okay. Now, one thing that I have noticed is that a lot of the Bitcoin selling that we have at the moment is coming from Grayscale. There is this Arkham Intelligence dashboard, which I'll leave a link to in the description below, where you can see exactly when Grayscale, I should say, are selling their Bitcoin, and you can see that they're selling a significant amount going directly into Coinbase very frequently. So this is just 3 hours ago. I can see that they were selling millions and millions of dollars. Probably, I think this adds up to around $500 million. $500 million worth of Bitcoin, but they've still got a significant amount left, 573k left. Let's see like how long this Bitcoin keeps getting sold off for. Obviously, I don't think they're going to sell off everything, but I do wonder kind of how much they will sell. At the moment, they're just selling chunks at a time, 1,000 Bitcoin here, 1,000 Bitcoin there. Let's see. I wonder if they end up selling like another 50k Bitcoin or another 100k Bitcoin, like how things will go. That is a lot of sell pressure. But let's see. And so I'm keeping a close eye on this. This is the kind of range that I'm thinking where things are. I mean, we can look at things like ETH as well, which excuse my chart over here. Let's zoom out a little bit, but you can see, look, perhaps we had this deviation over here, and perhaps we're going back into this area of consolidation, this kind of upward trending range potentially. Who knows? I'm not a TA guy. I mean, I like to do a bit of TA, but you know that you're watching me for the fundamentals. And I think in the case of Ethereum, there's significant events potentially coming for it that I think give it much higher upside than I think Bitcoin has from this point onwards. Well, I've talked about this recently. We've got things like potentially the Ethereum ETF. We've got potentially things like Eigenlayer coming out and the whole restaking landscape. And proto-dank sharding. So I think all in all, like, there are lots of bullish events around the Ethereum ecosystem, which make me kind of wonder whether or not BTC ETH has bottomed. We'll have to wait and see, of course. But I think either way, look, I look at high quality altcoins and I see them down significantly from their recent highs. I mean, look, we're talking 33%, and if this continues and heads to like these areas of support, then I think as long as you're buying high quality altcoins, I think in the long run you should be absolutely fine. Now, one of the questions that some of you might be asking is, like, my portfolio is still not the best. I have good layer 1 exposure, have good layer 2 exposure, have very good DeFi and NFT exposure now. I have some infra and some deepen exposure, but the question is kind of, what other sectors are you looking at? And there's two main ones that I've talked about. I think one of them is the gaming sector, and you can see a variety of coins here from CoinMarketCap, just showing like some of the big ones here. I think some of these coins have also come down in price recently. Immutable, for example, which is the leader, going from like $2.60 now to $1.80. Quite a sizable pullback there of 30%. And I think these are the pullbacks in high quality projects where I'm looking at, and I think, what, actually it's not a bad time to buy. Yes, you're absolutely right. This coin could go down minus 50%. It could go down to like $1.50. It could even go down to like $1.20. But I think in the long run, if you're buying high quality altcoins, you can't be too greedy when you get amazing discounts put on a plate to you. So of course, lots of it depends on what Bitcoin does, but I think generally I'm looking at kind of just getting a little bit of exposure to these sectors as well. And I think gaming is clearly one area. I'll be honest, I'm not a gaming expert. I don't believe in investing in individual games because I, number one, don't have the time to follow them, but number two, I think there's a higher risk with them when it compares to gaming infrastructure in general. So I think gaming infra is probably what I'm looking at more. And then the other sector is AI. And you look at this list over here, according to CoinGecko. Some of these coins I don't count as AI coins. I count them more as deep in coins, like for example Render or Akash. But some of these other ones are, and you could look at BitTensor or Fetch or Ocean Protocol or Autonomous. Like, these are coins that I think have got that kind of, I wouldn't say a moat, but they've definitely got that community around them, and I think that certainly plays a big role. But I think these are the ones that I'm currently researching at the moment, and I think I probably will get some sort of AI exposure. And similarly, you can see, just as with gaming, some of these coins have pulled back quite a lot, and with the likes of Autonomous, it's down 50%. So I mean, really, how often are you gonna see like high quality altcoins, pull back 50%? You're not gonna see that often. But when it does come, you do have to kind of bite your tongue a little bit and go for it, especially if you have conviction. And that's ultimately what you need to do. You need to research these coins, whether it's the AI coins or the gaming coins or any of the other sectors of crypto that you're particularly interested in. And you have to research them well. And once you research them well, you're able to build your conviction. If you don't understand your coins to the level where you can explain it to your grandma, then for me, I feel like you just don't know your investments that well. And for me, that's what I like to do. That's why I do the deep dives. And yeah, let's see kind of what I add. So track my portfolio. You can track it in the link below. because by the time the next episode comes out, I may have added another coin. I don't know what that coin is going to be just yet, but I am looking at those two sectors. Of course, the deep in sector is also one that I am interested in. I will be doing a few deep dives covering deep in protocols, but I think I'm more excited about upcoming projects rather than the ones that are available at the moment. Otherwise, I think generally things are pretty stable. I'm happy with my portfolio overall. And yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Let me know what you think about my portfolio. Let me know if there's any coins that you think are kind of on your radar at the moment and I'm potentially missing. I will be super interested to know. Let me know your thoughts about where the market is going to go. Let me know your thoughts about Grayscale. Again, really interested to know. And yeah, just wanted to give you an update. We'll be back with another episode in due time.